Dear students, welcome to our class on drought, classification of drought, drought influence on crop plants, management practices. So these are the things that we are going to discuss in this class. Of course, analysis of the drought I cover in the practicals. So even though a word or line, if it is not mentioned at least by voice, it may not be fully satisfying to you. That's why I have kept this also analysis of drought for a half minute or less than that even. Now, so before we actually enter into the class, the quote for today: what other people think of you is none of your business. Once again, I would like to say, what other people think of you is none of your business. Do whatever you like or any other inference from your side. Thanking you. Now let's go straight into our. So, what is a drought? Drought is explained by different ways, innumerable ways. Of course, this is a basic course. Three ways in a very simple way I would like to enlighten you. The condition under which crops fail to mature because of insufficient supply of water through rain. This is the first one. The second one is the situation in which the amount of water required for transpiration and evaporation by cropland in a defined area exceeds the amount of available moisture in the soil. So, whatever the soil moisture that is available, if it is not meeting the requirements of evaporation and transpiration, it is known as drought. In the first way, how I had explained is when crops fail to mature because of insufficient supply of water through rains. The last one is a situation of no precipitation or rain, okay, in a rainy season for more than 15 days continuously. So when 15 days no rain is there, that's also we call it as a drought. So this is what generally explained, but there are some other contributing factors or other causes of contributing to the drought are defective tillage of soil. When you plow the soil, primary tillage, secondary tillage, seed bed preparation, if any defectiveness is there, drought may occur to the crop. Failure to store rainwater, even though you get the rain, if you fail to store the rainwater, then also drought occurs. Lack of technology to retain the soil moisture. It is a scientific process, and high seed rate and thick plant population instead of 2 kgs per acre. So if you are going for 5 kg per acre, it is a high seed rate, thick plant population. Then also crop is affected by drought. Of course, these are the other causes. There are other contributing factors otherwise. Of course, the general effects of drought are depletion of soil moisture and reduction in the groundwater, reduction of output of the turnover in the industry, agriculture. Of course, totally the economy of the nation is affected. So these are the general effects of drought. Now, so what are the different droughts or classification of drought? Several classifications are there. Fundamental course, only just three. I have already told in the low air temperature plant injury, suffocation, after suffocation, physiological drought. There is a drought. Physiological drought means, when aerial parts of the plant is losing the water, but when water is not entering through soil, from the soil into the roots along with the minerals, physiological drought is there. That differs a lot from this one. What are the three major droughts? Droughts are broadly grouped into or divided into three categories. Number one, meteorological drought. Meteorological drought. What is it? If annual rainfall is significantly short of certain level, suppose 75% of the rainfall that is supposed to occur, climatological expected, only 75% of the climatological expected rainfall occurs over a wide area, not a short, wider area. At least one district should be there. What is one district? So then the situation is called by meteorological drought. In every state, each region receives certain amount of rainfall. This is the basis for planning the cropping pattern of that region or that area. So, to be very simple, meteorological drought is significantly short. of climatologically expected rainfall is known as DAT, meteorological drought. A bit will come like this. The next one is the hydrological drought. So hydrological drought, very interesting. This is a situation in which hydrological resources like streams, rivers, reservoirs, lakes, wells, etc., 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 they just dry up because of marked depletion of surface water. The groundwater table also depletes. This is what we call it as the hydrological drought. Now, what is agricultural drought? This is a situation which is a result of inadequate rainfall. It is a situation which is a result of inadequate rainfall. Because of this, the soil moisture falls short to meet the demands of the crop during its growth. Since the soil moisture available to a crop is insufficient, it affects the growth and finally results in the reduction of yield. So this is what we call it as the agricultural drought. Just the three situations under which a drought occurs in the before slide I explained, same thing for agricultural drought. Of course, there is an interesting thing what you should learn is that some scientists consider the above classification only as a part of the total classification. Of course, on the medium and also in the temporal aspects, they are in addition to this one. The bit that you usually get in this is if the meteorological drought is significantly prolonged, dash droughts set in. If the meteorological drought is significantly prolonged, dash drought sets in. It is hydrological drought. So this is as far as drought. As far as droughts and their influence on the croplands are concerned, I would like to tell you, I would like to show you how this is a drought affected plant. The leaves are shriveled, stunted in growth, and this one. This is a normal plant. Normal plant looks like this. A drought affected plant looks like this. So what are those droughts and their influence in crop plants? Okay. Drought affected plant is this one, this one, this one. Okay. Right. This is a drought affected plant. Dried, dried, dried. So this is a not affected by drought. This crop plant is not affected by drought. It is fully blooming and then it is in the actual and active growing stage now. So what are these symptoms? That's what I am telling. The influence of drought on crops. Okay, what are those? The drought can be observed not only on the phenology but also on the phenophases. What is meant by phenophases? Vegetative, reproductive, maturity. In the vegetative itself, there may be some early vegetative, mid vegetative, late vegetative. That means phenophases. So the influence of drought can be observed not only in the phenology. Phenology means, this is the, of course, how it is physically, phenology of the plant, So it also on the phenophases, that means vegetative, reproductive, maturity. Now, from seedling to ripening stage. Seed germinates. Seed germinates. It comes out of the soil, emerges. Emergence we call it as. From then onwards, the influence of drought is seen on the crop plant. From seedling to ripening stage. Okay, water influence the crop. If it is during the flowering stage, any little stress of moisture occurs, reduces the size of inflorescence. During the flowering stage, reduces the size of inflorescence. In the same way, during the fertilization and grain filling, of course, final yield is affected, substantially reduced. When soil moisture stress increases, it limits water supply to all plant pots. If drought occurs at the time of grain filling, it results in the decrease of yield considerably. So, flowering stage, fertilization, grain filling, whatnot at every stage. Now, coming down to a small scale of cell division and enlargement, these are also very sensitive to drought stress. Of course, drought also affects nutrient absorption. Okay, protein breakdown injures the drought stressed plant due to accumulation of toxic products. Okay, abscission of leaves. Leaves abscission means the leaves fall occurs from the plants. Abscission of the leaves. Abscission of the leaves because of the drought. Leaves fall. This is also one of the things. And plant respiration is drastically reduced. Just to sum up, very simply, the droughts and their influence on the crop or at every stage of the crop, starting from germination to emergence to phenology, phenophases, inflorescence, fertilization, whatnot, at even at maturity, the short of availability of water, less availability of water to meet the demands of evaporation from the soil, transpiration from the plant. When it occurs, drought is seen in the plant. Now, so these are all the symptoms. Then we go to drought control and management. It is drought is a phenomena which it doesn't happen overnight. It has got some lead time. Drought doesn't occur over time. So these the steps that would help to control and manage the drought are very interesting. Modification of microclimates, maintaining optimum plant population. Don't go for so much of plant population. Just to recommended seed rate, you go, then you get the thing. Best possible seed bed preparation. What else is required? If a good seed bed preparation is there, nothing else is there. So tillage practices to minimize the runoff. So water through rain or irrigation, or you can say the storage capacity of the soil. Just please prepare the land with good tillage practices. That also would save. Crops that evade, of course, or endure the periods of drought shall be sown. So some drought resistant crops that would evade. Otherwise, drought tolerance crops also can be one of the control or management practices for the drought. The dates of sowing shall be adjusted in such a way that reproductive stage, particularly of the crop, shall not pass through the drought. This is one of the management practices. Then effective control of pests and diseases also helps correcting the nutrient deficiencies. There are some major macronutrients, micronutrients. Okay, the application of fertilizers if required, so nutrient deficiency shall be corrected. That also will help in controlling or management of the drought, and application of anti-transparency. So when excess moisture, excess water is losing or leaving from the both either from the soil or from the plant, okay, that also can be done by using anti-transparent. Sometimes mulches also reduce the evapotranspiration. Now another thing is the application of irrigation at appropriate stages of the crop. This is one of the management practices. Weed control is one of the best practices, so that weed competes with the crop for light, for of course nutrients, again for moisture. So when you go for best weed control practices, this is one of the management things. Plowing of range lands, plowing of the range lands, of course that also will help. Shaping of the land so that water stays where it falls. So these are all the things as far as our control or management of the drought is concerned. Again, just to give you the quote of the day once again, what others think of you, what other people think of you is none of your business. Just do what your inner signals say. Thank you very much. May God bless you.